Beneath the sun-scorched stones of Jerusalem, a shadow runs deep, hidden, silent, and forgotten by time itself. For centuries, pilgrims, conquerors, and prophets have walked these streets, unaware that just below their feet lies a passage that could challenge everything we thought we knew about the city's ancient past. What secrets sleep beneath the cobblestones? What whispers of history await discovery in the darkness below? Jerusalem is a city layered in time. Its streets tell stories of kings and exiles, of empires rising and falling, of faith tested and renewed. Yet beneath its familiar surface, scholars have long suspected there may be more than rubble and relics. Some hint at hidden tunnels, man-made veins running through bedrock, designed for purposes now lost to memory. For centuries, these subterranean corridors were dismissed as legend, footnotes in ancient texts or figments of travelers' imagination. But what if they were real? What if a single undiscovered passage could alter our understanding of Jerusalem's history, shedding light on events thought long buried in the dust of time? Archaeologists have scoured the city for centuries, peeling back layers of human habitation, each strata revealing glimpses of life from millennia past. Ancient maps, some hidden in monastery archives, allude to corridors connecting key sites, temples, fortresses, and dwellings of the elite. Some scholars suggest these tunnels were not merely practical but strategic, secret lifelines for kings and priests during sieges, or hidden escape routes in times of unrest. Others argue they could have been sacred, conduits for rituals and processions unseen by ordinary citizens. The debate is intense because evidence is fragmentary, and in Jerusalem every stone has a story, and every story has layers of interpretation. The tunnel we are speaking of begins in the shadow of the city's oldest quarters, near the southern wall of what is believed to be the first temple precinct. The entrance, hidden by centuries of debris and later constructions, remained elusive until recent surveys using ground-penetrating radar and magnetometry suggested an anomaly beneath the surface, a linear void running beneath the city's ancient stones. Some archaeologists approach these findings cautiously, aware that the risks of misinterpretation are high. But for those who dare to imagine, it is electrifying, a dark, narrow corridor stretching far beneath the living city, untouched by centuries of excavation. Imagine descending into that darkness. The air grows cooler, heavier, tinged with the scent of earth and stone. Each step echoes like a heartbeat, a reminder that this is not a modern construction, but a creation from a time when the city's pulse was measured by priests, soldiers, and kings. Inscriptions in ancient script, barely legible, line the walls. Warnings, prayers, or records of those who built and maintained this secret passage. Some inscriptions bear the marks of scribes whose hands trembled not from fear, but reverence, inscribing messages meant to endure beyond their lifetimes. Others bear signs of hurried construction, as though built in urgency, hidden from invading eyes. If verified, the tunnel could illuminate moments long obscured by the haze of history. Could it have been used during the Babylonian siege, allowing priests to escape with sacred artifacts before the city fell? Or perhaps during the Hasmonean period, connecting clandestine chambers for rulers maneuvering through political intrigue? Each theory evokes images of a city alive with secrecy, of rulers and priests moving unseen beneath the streets, shaping events while the populace remained oblivious. Some scholars even speculate the tunnel may predate the First Temple, suggesting that Jerusalem's sacred geography was deliberately designed with hidden passages from its earliest days, a revelation that would rewrite timelines and challenge assumptions about ancient engineering and urban planning. And yet, this is not merely a story of stones and soil. It is a story about the pursuit of truth, the human desire to uncover what has been hidden. For centuries, explorers, archaeologists, and dreamers have sought Jerusalem's secrets, often at great personal risk. Some were driven by faith, believing that rediscovering the past could reaffirm divine promises. Others were driven by curiosity, the pure longing to touch history with their own hands. Every excavation, every careful dig, carries the tension of discovery and the weight of preservation. In a city where history is alive in every wall and street, the smallest find can ripple across scholarship, religion, and culture alike. The hidden tunnel, if fully explored, promises more than artifacts. It could offer a tangible connection to the people who lived and prayed and feared in Jerusalem thousands of years ago. Each stone, each passageway, tells a story of survival and ingenuity. Some walls may bear the marks of hurried repairs during sieges. Others may conceal chambers used for secret councils or sacred rites. And as modern technology allows us to peer into these spaces without disturbing them, we are given a rare chance to listen to history on its own terms, to step quietly into the lives of those who came before us. And yet, with every tantalizing clue comes uncertainty. Ground-penetrating surveys reveal lines and voids, but they do not answer every question. Excavation is fraught with challenges: the dense modern city above, the fragility of ancient stones, and the ever-present weight of history pressing down from above. Scholars debate, hypothesize, and sometimes clash over interpretations. Is this truly a secret tunnel or a natural fissure misread as a corridor? Could it have been partially destroyed, its purpose obscured by centuries of human activity? Every answer seems to lead to more questions, pulling us deeper into a labyrinth of history, faith, and imagination. As we prepare to explore the mystery of Jerusalem's hidden tunnel, one question resonates above all. What truths are still buried beneath the city's streets, waiting to be revealed? What could a single underground passage tell us about the rise and fall of empires, the devotion of priests, and the daily lives of ordinary citizens who walked unaware above it? Perhaps in uncovering these secrets, we do more than rewrite history. We confront our own understanding of faith, legacy, and the endurance of human endeavor. If this journey into the shadows beneath Jerusalem stirs your curiosity, take a moment to reflect on what might still lie hidden in the places we think we know. Leave a word below and join the conversation, because sometimes the past speaks louder than the present, if only we listen carefully enough. As we step further into the story of Jerusalem's hidden tunnel, we must first consider the city itself, not as a modern capital bustling with life, but as a tapestry of civilizations, each layer pressing upon the one beneath. Long before the Ottoman walls encircled the city, long before the Romans marched through its streets, Jerusalem stood as a sacred nexus, a meeting point of divine promise and human ambition. Scholars often remind us that the city's topography shaped its destiny. Rocky ridges, deep valleys, and strategic hills dictated the flow of people, armies, and ideas. It was into this complex terrain that the architects of the hidden tunnel etched their vision, concealing their labor beneath the living city. Archaeological texts and historical accounts hint at subterranean works beneath Jerusalem, but few are as enigmatic as this tunnel. Ancient historians, writing centuries after the events, make cryptic references to secret passages or hidden ways, often glossed over by translators or dismissed as legend. One of the earliest mentions comes from Josephus, the first-century Jewish historian, who describes secret routes that allowed priests and rulers to move unseen during times of crisis. Some scholars suggest he may have been alluding to a network of corridors designed to protect sacred objects and ensure continuity of ritual life, a precaution born from repeated invasions and political turbulence. Others caution that Josephus's accounts mix history and interpretation, leaving modern researchers to sift myth from possible fact. Yet clues abound. Excavations near the city of David reveal narrow passageways and tunnels connecting areas of significant religious and administrative activity. One such tunnel, partially excavated in the 19th century, suggested sophisticated engineering. Walls reinforced with hewn stones, channels to manage water flow, and gradients designed for silent movement. The new tunnel, hinted at by recent surveys, may extend or intersect with these known structures, creating a network that spans beneath the ancient city. If so, it would imply a level of planning and coordination that reshapes our understanding of Jerusalem's early urban design. How could architects of the First or Second Temple periods conceive of such an integrated subterranean system, and for what ultimate purpose? Some scholars propose a practical rationale: survival. Jerusalem's history is punctuated by sieges, from the Babylonians to the Romans. In each crisis, the city's inhabitants faced starvation, disease, and conquest. A hidden tunnel could have served as an escape route, allowing leaders or sacred objects to be moved beyond the city walls. Inscriptions found in nearby sites suggest a culture deeply invested in preservation. Prayers etched into stone, instructions encoded in symbols, a collective consciousness mindful of threats and the need for secrecy. Each corridor may have been a lifeline, connecting dwellings, storage chambers, and ritual spaces while remaining invisible to those outside the city. But survival is only part of the story. Some researchers suggest these tunnels held spiritual significance. In the ancient Near East, underground spaces were often associated with the sacred, chambers beneath temples, hidden vaults for offerings, even passageways thought to bridge the human and divine realms. The tunnel beneath Jerusalem may have been more than a means of escape. It may have been a conduit for ritual movement, a secret pilgrimage beneath the city that only the initiated could navigate. Imagine the priests, their steps echoing softly, carrying sacred incense or scrolls along a corridor unknown to the public above, performing acts that reinforce their connection to God and preserve traditions that might otherwise have been lost. As the story unfolds, the tunnel becomes more than a physical space. It is a lens through which we glimpse Jerusalem's layered reality. Consider the political context of the Second Temple period. A city governed by Roman overlords, yet fiercely protective of its religious heritage. Hidden corridors may have provided clandestine access to fortified chambers or secret meeting places where leaders debated strategy, where the high priest performed rituals shielded from external influence. Every stone in these passages speaks to a delicate balance: secrecy and survival, devotion and political necessity, human ingenuity and divine aspiration. Yet for all the tantalizing possibilities, the tunnel challenges us with questions as profound as its physical structure. How was it constructed? What tools and labor forces were employed in an era without modern machinery? Some researchers argue that water management may have been a key factor, as underground corridors needed to remain dry and stable, hinting at advanced engineering knowledge. Others speculate about hidden chambers along its path, repositories for scrolls, treasure, or sacred objects, carefully concealed to withstand both time and conquest. Each hypothesis draws us deeper into the intersection of archaeology, scripture, and human drama. Recent technological advances have renewed hope for answers. Ground-penetrating radar, 3D mapping, and non-invasive excavation methods allow scholars to trace underground spaces without destabilizing ancient foundations. Preliminary scans reveal walls and voids extending in directions that suggest continuity, hinting at connections to previously known tunnels. Researchers tread carefully. Jerusalem's living city sits atop these treasures, and even minor disruption can destroy centuries of history. Yet each discovery adds weight to the possibility that this tunnel is more than legend, a real, tangible testament to the ambition, faith, and ingenuity of its builders. And while experts debate purpose and chronology, the tunnel itself tells a story that transcends speculation. It is a story of human resolve, of a city constantly reinventing itself, adapting to threats while safeguarding what it holds most sacred. From the earliest builders to the scholars deciphering its walls today, this corridor binds past and present, offering a tangible bridge between eras and reminding us that history is never truly lost. It only waits for those willing to uncover it. Perhaps the most compelling aspect is the tunnel's potential to rewrite our understanding of Jerusalem's sacred geography. If verified, it could indicate that the city's spiritual and political centers were interconnected in ways we have only glimpsed, suggesting a deliberate design that fuses devotion and defense, secrecy and sanctity. Each turn of the corridor, each hidden alcove, becomes a piece of a puzzle that, when assembled, reveals a city far more intricate than previously imagined. A city whose story continues to unfold beneath our feet, unseen yet profoundly influential. As we prepare to follow this tunnel into the depths of history, we are reminded that every discovery comes with responsibility to preserve, to interpret, and to honor the past while illuminating the present. The journey is not merely about stone and mortar. It is about uncovering the lives and choices of those who shaped Jerusalem, and in doing so, confronting the layers of our own understanding. If the shadows of this ancient corridor intrigue you, leave a comment below. Share your thoughts on what lies beneath, and join a conversation that bridges millennia. As we move from the historical and archaeological lens to a more personal perspective, the hidden tunnel beneath Jerusalem begins to resonate beyond maps and excavation reports. It becomes a mirror for our own journeys through life's unseen corridors. Just as the ancient builders carved secret paths beneath the city, each of us navigates invisible passageways. Fears unspoken, hopes unexpressed, and faith tested in the quiet chambers of our hearts. The tunnel is not merely a relic, it is a metaphor for the hidden aspects of human experience, the depths beneath the surface where transformation quietly takes shape. Consider the courage required to build such a tunnel. Generations of laborers and artisans toiled in darkness, chiseling stone, reinforcing walls, and mapping routes that might never be seen by the world above. They worked not for acclaim, but for a purpose that transcended recognition, safeguarding sacred objects, preserving ritual life, or protecting the community. In our own lives, we too labor in unseen ways. Acts of kindness, moments of patience, sacrifices made in silence, all are invisible efforts that sustain the structures around us, whether in our families, workplaces, or communities. Just as the tunnel was built stone by stone, our character and faith are forged in the quiet, often unnoticed choices we make every day. There is also a lesson in patience. The tunnel, hidden for centuries, reminds us that some truths take time to emerge. Archaeologists and historians may uncover clues slowly, layer by layer, yet the story is never lost. It waits for those willing to seek diligently. Similarly, in our personal journeys, clarity often comes gradually. Challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty are not signs of failure. They are the strata through which our understanding deepens. We may feel trapped in darkness at times, much like the narrow confines of a subterranean corridor, yet each step forward is a movement toward light and revelation. Faith, too, is illuminated in the shadows of the tunnel. Ancient Jerusalem was a city of devotion, where priests and citizens alike held to promises written in Scripture, even when danger loomed and the future seemed uncertain. The hidden corridor may have served as a literal conduit of preservation, yet it also symbolizes the spiritual paths that sustain belief when the world above feels chaotic. In our lives, we often face invisible pressures, decisions unseen by others, burdens carried quietly. But these are the very paths where our faith is tested and strengthened. Like the tunnel, our resilience and hope may go unnoticed by the world, yet they shape the course of our lives profoundly. Moreover, the tunnel teaches us about vision. The builders had to imagine a structure that did not yet exist, mapping its course without the benefit of modern tools or full knowledge of what lay ahead. They worked with foresight, planning for contingencies and anticipating the needs of those who would follow. In our own experiences, we are often asked to act without knowing the outcome, to invest time, energy, and love into endeavors whose results are not guaranteed. The courage to envision, to act faithfully in the unseen, mirrors the foresight of those ancient builders. Our small, deliberate choices, though invisible in the moment, create pathways that shape the future in ways we cannot fully perceive. The tunnel also invites reflection on secrecy and revelation. What is kept hidden and why? In Jerusalem, the corridor may have concealed sacred objects, strategies, or rituals. In our lives, what we keep hidden, our fears, dreams, or even spiritual questions, can be sources of growth if approached with intention. Reflection, prayer, or honest dialogue with trusted mentors allows these hidden aspects to be examined safely, much like archaeologists carefully uncover the tunnel without causing harm. Secrets are not inherently negative. Some concealment is protective, nurturing growth and preserving what is most precious until the right moment for revelation arrives. And yet, the tunnel reminds us that discovery is a communal experience. Scholars, explorers, and modern technology work together to uncover its secrets, blending expertise, curiosity, and dedication. Likewise, our personal journeys often flourish within communities, friends, mentors, and family who help guide, support, and encourage us as we navigate our own hidden corridors. We do not walk these paths alone. Each act of listening, each gesture of guidance, helps illuminate a segment of the journey that might otherwise remain in darkness. Finally, the tunnel speaks to endurance. Stone endures long after the hands that shaped it have returned to dust. Similarly, the values we cultivate, the faith we nurture, and the love we extend leave marks far beyond our immediate perception. Like the hidden tunnel beneath Jerusalem, the legacy of quiet, faithful labor shapes lives in ways that may remain unseen for years, even centuries, until circumstances align to reveal their significance. In the same way, every act of courage, every whispered prayer, every silent effort contributes to a larger story that connects the past, present, and future. As we reflect on the hidden tunnel beneath Jerusalem, let it serve as a reminder that even when our paths are obscured, even when our efforts seem unnoticed, every step has purpose. Each hidden passage, each shadowed corridor holds potential for growth, revelation, and transformation. Just as the ancient tunnel patiently awaited rediscovery, so too does the meaning in our lives unfold over time, calling us to trust, persist, and believe in the unseen forces shaping our journey. If this reflection resonates with you, consider sharing your own hidden corridors, the challenges or quiet triumphs that shape your life. Leave a thought below and join others in illuminating the unseen paths that connect us all. Even as the hidden tunnel beneath Jerusalem inspires awe and reflection, it also confronts us with the reality of obstacles, both tangible and invisible, that can make discovery, whether of history or of ourselves, profoundly challenging. For centuries, this subterranean passage lay dormant, its secrets shielded by layers of earth, debris, and human construction. Its existence was debated, doubted, even dismissed by skeptics. The tunnel reminds us that every journey worth taking encounters resistance, and that obstacles, while daunting, are often integral to the story of revelation. Consider the physical challenges the tunnel presents. Navigating narrow, unstable corridors beneath a living city is no small feat. Archaeologists must contend with centuries of accumulated rubble, structural instability, and the constant presence of modern life overhead. One wrong step could collapse a centuries-old wall, erasing history in an instant. In this, the tunnel becomes a metaphor for the struggles we face in uncovering truth in our own lives. The walls of fear, doubt, and uncertainty can feel just as confining, just as precarious. Yet, as history shows, careful preparation, knowledge, and courage allow discovery even in the most constrained spaces. The tunnel also embodies psychological and emotional resistance. Scholars and explorers have debated its existence for decades, often facing ridicule or disbelief. In our personal lives, we encounter similar skepticism, sometimes from others, but often from ourselves. The voice of doubt whispers, "Is it worth the risk? Or what if the truth is not what you hoped?" These internal challenges are as real as the tunnel's narrow passages. To proceed, one must cultivate perseverance and discernment, learning to differentiate between fear that protects and fear that paralyzes. Each step, taken with conviction, though uncertain, moves us closer to understanding. Historical uncertainties compound the challenge. The tunnel may intersect with other unknown passages or ancient structures whose purposes are still debated. Archaeologists must piece together fragments, ancient inscriptions, architectural anomalies, and geological surveys to form a coherent picture. Similarly, in our personal journeys, we often confront fragmented truths, incomplete narratives, and unanswered questions. We must learn to interpret these fragments with care, recognizing that clarity often emerges slowly through patience, reflection, and faith. The process may feel arduous, but it is precisely within these struggles that insight takes root. Moreover, the tunnel symbolizes spiritual and moral obstacles. In its hidden chambers, decisions were made under pressure, whether to hide sacred objects, protect lives, or conceal knowledge from invaders. These choices were fraught with ethical complexity, reflecting the tension between self-preservation and duty, secrecy and transparency. In our own lives, we encounter parallel dilemmas, decisions that test our values, challenge our integrity, or require us to act with courage despite uncertainty. The tunnel reminds us that meaningful paths are rarely free of moral tension. They demand discernment, wisdom, and a willingness to face difficult questions honestly. The threat of the unknown looms at every turn. Just as the tunnel may hold traps, unstable sections, or collapsed areas, life presents unforeseen challenges that test resilience. Some obstacles are external, circumstances beyond our control, while others are internal, born from fear, doubt, or past wounds. The courage to move forward despite these risks is what defines the journey. Ancient builders and explorers of the tunnel had to trust their knowledge, their tools, and each other, navigating uncertainty with vigilance. We too must rely on faith, insight, and support from those who guide and encourage us. Isolation is another formidable barrier. Descending into the tunnel, one moves through darkness, often alone or with a small team. It is a space that demands focus, patience, and endurance. Similarly, personal transformation often requires solitary reflection, moments when the world above fades and we confront ourselves directly. These are the intervals when doubts intensify, when fear whispers that the path is too difficult. Yet the tunnel teaches that isolation is not emptiness. It is a crucible, shaping resilience, self-awareness, and clarity. And then there is the weight of history itself. Jerusalem is a city alive with memory, where every stone carries the echoes of millennia. The tunnel, buried beneath layers of human experience, bears this weight in every corner. Those who enter its depths must respect the fragility of the past, aware that one careless move could erase centuries of story. In life, we too carry the weight of our histories, mistakes, regrets, and unfulfilled hopes. The tunnel reminds us that confronting the past, rather than ignoring it, is essential to moving forward. Preservation, careful reflection, and learning from what came before allow us to navigate life's hidden corridors without destruction. Yet amidst these obstacles, hope persists. The tunnel, though hidden, remains intact, a testament to human ingenuity and endurance. Its discovery is possible because of persistence, curiosity, and the refusal to be deterred by doubt. So it is with our personal journeys. Every challenge, whether fear, uncertainty, or resistance, is an opportunity to strengthen faith, deepen understanding, and cultivate courage. Each obstacle, like the tunnel's constricted path, is not merely a barrier, but a training ground for resilience, insight, and vision. As we confront the shadows of Jerusalem's hidden passage, we are reminded that discovery and transformation rarely occur without struggle. The tunnel challenges us to face fear with courage, uncertainty with patience, and the unknown with faith. If you feel the weight of your own obstacles, pause and reflect. What hidden passages are you called to navigate? Which challenges, though daunting, may lead to insight and growth? Share your thoughts below and step into the conversation about how courage in the unseen spaces shapes us all. Emerging from the trials and shadows of the hidden tunnel, a vision of transformation begins to take shape, both for Jerusalem and for those who walk its symbolic corridors within. The tunnel, once feared for its obscurity and complexity, now offers insight, revealing how persistence, faith, and courage converge to produce clarity and understanding. It is in the revelation of the hidden that we discover the power of illumination, the kind that reshapes not just history, but perception, belief, and identity. Picture stepping fully into the tunnel, moving beyond fear and doubt, past the collapsed passages and uncertain turns. The air grows still, resonant with echoes of centuries, yet something shifts. A subtle light, whether literal or metaphorical, begins to illuminate the walls etched with inscriptions. These marks, once indecipherable, now speak clearly. Warnings, prayers, symbols of devotion, and instructions intended to endure. The tunnel itself becomes a teacher, guiding each traveler through a labyrinth of history while offering lessons in perseverance, purpose, and reverence. Just as the builders intended, the corridor conveys knowledge across generations, silently bridging past and present. In this light, the tunnel transforms from a mere archaeological curiosity into a powerful lens for reflection. Each step we take resonates with intention and significance. What was once hidden is now partially revealed, showing that patience and faith eventually unlock understanding. The city above, with its bustling streets and sacred sites, continues its rhythm, unaware of the wisdom revealed beneath. Yet for those who venture into the depths, literally or figuratively, the experience reframes their view of Jerusalem, history, and the human spirit. We begin to perceive patterns of ingenuity, devotion, and resilience that had been invisible, realizing that even in obscurity, purpose endures. This transformation is not limited to historical comprehension. It carries personal resonance. The tunnel, as a metaphor, teaches that every hidden struggle or silent effort in our lives contributes to a larger purpose. The patience required to navigate darkness mirrors the perseverance needed to face personal trials, cultivate faith, and nurture growth. Each obstacle overcome, each moment of doubt endured, becomes a stone laid in the foundation of character and insight. As the tunnel opens into chambers of clarity, so too do our hearts open to understanding, compassion, and renewed vision when we confront our hidden paths with courage. The discovery also reframes our relationship with history. The tunnel, once dismissed as legend, now stands as a testament to the ingenuity and devotion of those who came before. It reminds us that human experience is often far richer and more complex than surface appearances suggest. The builders of this corridor understood risk, uncertainty, and the necessity of secrecy, yet they acted with faith in a future that might never witness their efforts. This truth resonates with the human condition. Meaningful work, acts of devotion, and sacrifices made in quiet obscurity can ripple across generations, leaving an imprint even when recognition is absent. Moreover, the tunnel encourages us to reconsider the interplay between faith and discovery. The city above is sacred, and every layer beneath is imbued with intent and reverence. The corridor connects spaces that were once thought isolated, revealing that sacredness and strategy, devotion and pragmatism can coexist. In our own spiritual journeys, we encounter similar dualities: hope amidst doubt, clarity within confusion, and faith operating in tension with uncertainty. The tunnel demonstrates that these dualities are not contradictions, but complementary forces shaping resilience, understanding, and purpose. A sense of vision emerges when we contemplate the tunnel's broader significance. If further exploration confirms its extent, scholars may redefine Jerusalem's sacred geography, seeing connections between temples, fortresses, and civic spaces that were previously invisible. This revelation reframes our understanding of the city's history, showing that past civilizations were guided by principles that intertwined faith, protection, and foresight. Likewise, in our personal lives, moments of insight often arise when we connect seemingly unrelated experiences, realizing that past challenges, lessons, and choices converge to reveal a coherent pattern of growth and purpose. The tunnel also inspires hope that discovery is ongoing. Technology and scholarship continue to advance, promising more revelations not only in Jerusalem, but in all aspects of understanding the hidden and the unseen. This is a powerful reminder. No matter how entrenched challenges appear, persistence and curiosity can uncover truths previously obscured. Faith, patience, and diligence converge to produce insight, showing that transformation is possible even in the most complex and intimidating spaces. Each corridor navigated, each inscription deciphered, contributes to a vision of clarity that illuminates both the past and our contemporary understanding. In essence, the tunnel invites us to embrace the unseen as a space of possibility. Where darkness once signified danger, it now signifies potential. Where uncertainty loomed, clarity emerges. This transformation, the shift from fear to understanding, from hesitation to courage, is the ultimate lesson of the tunnel. Jerusalem's hidden passage reminds us that the journey through shadows is not merely an exercise in endurance, but a path to revelation, a route through which knowledge, faith, and vision converge to reshape our perception of history, spirituality, and ourselves. As we stand at the threshold of understanding, we are called to share the light we have discovered. The tunnel's story, now partially revealed, invites reflection, conversation, and engagement. If this vision inspires you, pass it on to someone who seeks insight, courage, or connection to the hidden truths of history and life. By sharing what we uncover, we continue the legacy of those ancient builders, bridging generations, illuminating the unseen, and inspiring journeys yet to unfold. As we draw the journey of Jerusalem's hidden tunnel to its conclusion, the weight of history and the depth of human ingenuity converge into a profound truth. Some of the most transformative discoveries lie not in plain sight, but beneath the surface, waiting for those willing to explore with courage, patience, and reverence. The tunnel, silent for centuries, now speaks across time, telling stories of devotion, survival, and vision, bridging generations who never knew one another yet share a common heartbeat through the corridors of faith and purpose. Standing at the entrance, or imagining its shadowed path, we are reminded that history is not merely a record of dates and events. It is a living narrative, shaped by choices, sacrifices, and the invisible labor of those who came before us. The builders of the tunnel invested in a future they would never witness, and in doing so, left a legacy that challenges our assumptions about Jerusalem's past. Their courage in carving pathways through rock, their foresight in designing passages to preserve sacred knowledge, and their devotion to a purpose greater than themselves echo through the ages, reminding us that our actions, too, ripple beyond our immediate understanding. The tunnel's hidden chambers, still partly unexplored, embody the tension between mystery and revelation. Every turn and alcove holds the potential to reshape what we thought we knew about the city, the people who inhabited it, and the sacred rituals that defined their lives. Scholars debate its exact origins, while archaeologists continue their careful work. Yet even in uncertainty, the tunnel offers clarity. The human desire to uncover, preserve, and connect is timeless. We see that discovery is rarely linear. It is a process of patience, diligence, and reverence, reminding us that truth often emerges from persistence and respect for the unknown. In reflecting on this hidden passage, we find lessons that transcend archaeology. The tunnel invites us to consider our own hidden corridors, the unseen struggles, silent victories, and quiet faith that shape who we are. Just as the tunnel safeguarded sacred objects and passageways from destruction, our own inner strength and perseverance protect the values, dreams, and beliefs that define us. The shadows we navigate may feel isolating, uncertain, or perilous. Yet they are spaces where transformation occurs, where resilience is forged, and where insight waits patiently for those who move forward with courage. Moreover, the tunnel's story reminds us that discovery is communal. While one person may enter a narrow passage, the knowledge gained belongs to all who seek understanding. Scholars, historians, explorers, and observers each contribute to the narrative, piecing together fragments to illuminate the whole. In our personal lives, too, shared wisdom, guidance, and dialogue amplify the value of what we uncover. No journey, however private or unseen, exists in isolation. The truth once revealed resonates outward, shaping communities, inspiring reflection, and connecting lives across time and space. The vision the tunnel provides extends beyond history into hope. If the hidden corridors beneath Jerusalem can endure centuries of neglect and concealment, then human ingenuity, devotion, and faith are capable of remarkable resilience. The passage urges us to embrace the unseen and the uncertain, trusting that effort invested in quiet spaces, whether acts of service, perseverance, or contemplation, has significance that transcends the immediate moment. Every step taken with intention, every act of faith or courage, lays a foundation for future discovery and understanding, both in the world and within ourselves. Finally, the hidden tunnel calls us to honor the past while engaging with the present. It challenges us to listen to the stories beneath our feet, to see the legacy embedded in every stone, and to act with reverence, curiosity, and integrity. The city above continues its rhythm, unaware of the secrets below. Yet those who explore, study, or reflect upon these subterranean passages become participants in a timeless narrative. They bear witness to the endurance of faith, the creativity of human design, and the enduring quest for knowledge that defines our collective history. As this exploration concludes, let it serve as a reminder that the hidden is never truly lost. There is always more to discover beneath the surface, whether in the streets of Jerusalem, the corridors of history, or the inner chambers of our own hearts. If this story of courage, faith, and revelation moved you, share it with someone who seeks insight, comment to reflect on the mysteries that inspire you, or subscribe to continue walking this path with us. For the journey does not end here. It echoes in every step we take, in every shadow we illuminate, and in every hidden passage we dare to explore.